to everyone. It's Ada from Pod and Rock, and it's my pleasure today having Matt from Tayne. So, always we start with the toughest question. How's going?
How is it going? That is a really tough question.
Indeed.
It's going pretty good. Yeah, it's good. I'm oiled up, so all is good.
That's coffee or it's wine?
Yes, that's coffee.
Okay, people in Italy will kill. They would murder.
No, it's very much wine.
Okay, okay. So it's a different.
Not an Italian wine. It's a Spanish wine, though.
Okay, doesn't matter. It's always wine. It could be even French wine.
Could be.
Could be. That would be nice. That would be nice. So,
Yeah,
of course, instead of speaking about wine, maybe we can talk about, at least it's not an influence wine from your music.
it helps. Every little helps.
I want to say about a little bit about your own musical background, Matt. Like how you, like literally, like when you got close with the music, where like which was the first literally band that you ever heard, even when you were 1 years old.
Okay.
And when you ended up with bass and singing, and when you realized that was the moment to be more, let's say, serious, quote unquote.
Okay. I think definitely growing up, I was the youngest of four brothers, so it was very much a sponge and stealing their musical influences. But also I would say definitely there was a bit of that from my mom and dad. People like David Bowie, and kind of I guess it was good at the time because it was on the tail end of the 90s, so it was like the really weird obscure Bowie era that not many people like unless you're a big fan of Nine Inch Nails. But so there was a lot of that. And then obviously I think when I was a teenager it was great because when I was 11, Slayer released God Hates Us All. Slipknot released Iowa, and I remember just 2001 being like a
11.
seminal year of
Listen
like
on that.
music.
11 years old,
What's that?
literally 11 years old,
Yeah, yeah.
going through with Layer and
11 years old listening to the best Slayer record ever recorded. Yeah, absolutely. I remember just being like, I've never heard anything like this, and it's the best thing ever. Um, but yeah, so yeah, very much a metalhead, but like I had a guilty pleasure of like pop music and everything that's wrong and right with pop music. Um,
so which is your literally the guiltiest pleasure in pop music? Like if someone could see this interview, they would let's just literally ban you. I could say even mine.
uh, I always just say Lady Gaga, even though it's
Okay,
not even a
come
guilty
on.
pleasure anymore. I'm like I'm a monster hardcore, I'll, like, screaming off the rooftops. Yeah, Gaga for sure, absolutely.
It's
Think
amazing.
it's the best thing ever. Or like ABBA, you know.
I like ABBA, but I'm more from
Yeah.
like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera
Okay. Yeah,
era,
yeah.
or even
Or like the
five.
Madonna era
Like,
where
yeah, even
she
the
stole some ABBA stuff.
yeah, but that those were great period though. The pop was good.
Yeah, pop was good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's still quite good now, but it's just a little bit more, I don't know, watered down. Um, yeah, always waiting for those pop bangers. Always need more of them in my life. Um, but yeah, I always played in bands as a teenager. Picked up, I think, guitar from maybe probably in around the age of 11 as well. So it was always something
Okay.
that I was quite interested in. Um, and so it was. I think I was a guitarist, and
Oh,
I still consider myself a
okay. So
guitarist.
that's your
Yeah,
primary instrument.
I think so. Like it's weird with Tane because it's kind of like served the song almost. So it's like what where things fit in.
Yeah.
But I ended up being the bassist in Tane because it was easier to find a guitar player than it was to find a bass player.
This is true though, sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Everyone wants to be the guitarist in a band, and I was okay with not being the guitarist for
No, but
once.
when Lemmy was alive, I think everyone wanted to be a bass player and a vocalist, so that was cool though.
Yeah, yeah. We need some new bassist champion in the awesome bass rock and
Yeah,
roll
Matt.
lifestyle. Matt with one. Here we go. Let's do it. Break out the poker cards.
Yeah, I don't have it. I have, I don't know. I have the air conditioner controller.
Sick. Um, but yeah, and actually funny, like the earliest gig that I can remember going to, I think was weirdly like James Brown in
Okay.
Ireland. I was maybe 9.
Where were you as
Um,
a kid? Yeah, of course, with your parents. No, let's say that.
yeah.
No, with not by yourself, taking a ferry, going to Ireland.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Like my claim to fame is James Brown because it was like, I mean, when you're a kid, I don't think you really care, do you? You're just
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, that's something. But
yeah,
when you get
exactly.
older, you're like, wow, that was James Brown, man.
I was a kid and I saw that and I didn't
Yeah,
knew.
yeah.
Didn't know. That's
It's
cool.
a whole, yeah. So yeah, a combination of all of that led me down the road of industrial noise pop.
What happened? What happened?
Yeah, yeah.
So and so if you mix all the elements, including James Brown, you got industrial. That's
Yeah, I think
that's a
so.
yeah, because like the industrial you mentioned, like you mentioned a bunch of time, Nine Inch Nails. So I must guess
Yeah.
are kind of an influence for Tayne and you.
Yeah, yeah, massively. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not something that we strive to do, but they're definitely in the DNA of the band for sure.
Like the
Um,
the backbone kind of.
yeah, yeah, I think so. I think that like kind of experimentation mixed with
Okay.
like the harsh sonic noises, but structured in like the kind of um, the pop kind of song structures is
Okay.
definitely a big influence, and I think Trent Reznor does that exceptionally well.
Right. And of course, like because of course talking about you, you mentioned like of course starting as a guitarist and then being about and of course how you and I mean how started Tane like it was like an evolution of you playing guitar because of course there are other people involved in Tane so
Yeah, yeah.
being the other
So
musician and as well
so
as start yeah
yeah, I think so we got Tom who plays guitar and we got Paul who plays drums. And I think where it probably started, there was definitely an element of, all of these influences. And I think it was predominantly it kind of started as a bedroom project, not this exact bedroom, but a bedroom. Um,
okay
and yeah, it kind of started out at like making stuff on a computer and then just being like, what am I doing with this? And then kind of turning it into a band. So it kind of went from a bedroom project to a
okay
band. And so that kind of it was very like kind of easy to navigate the kind of on a computer, let's say, like how putting things together and kind of mashing things and taking time to try and make things work. That you probably, especially in London, like prime real estate and time is money, wouldn't have been as successful if we were bashing it out in a room. So it was kind of uh, a lot quicker maybe to
okay
make it on the computer and then bring it into the room and make it a band, and then obviously kind of develop it more into like a live band,
yeah
which is where Tom and Paul kind of came in, and we
okay
kind of spend time kind of turning that into like the live thing, which is what it is now. We very much lean into the
because
live side of the band
okay
more so
okay
than a bedroom
and
production
I
type
mean,
thing.
until you don't put a band on a band on the stage, then it's maybe you can simulate emulate like a bedroom on the stage could be your theme. We're talking
Yeah, yeah.
because the first album was from 2018. Is the
Yes.
Breathe?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
correct.
so that's the
That,
album that started in the bedroom.
that is the bedroom album.
Okay, that's another good
And
way to introduce it. That's the
that
best
is the
one.
so yeah, that was that was literally wrote at the very incubation stage of Tane. And I think me and Tom's like drive and hell-bent desire to put something out on a record drove us to put out that record. And to be
Okay.
honest, I think that the record is cool. I think we're both still like really happy with the songs. I think maybe production wise, we always felt like maybe if we had spent a little bit more time there, we would have
Okay.
um maybe yeah, it would have came out sounding different.
Yeah, but it's always a still of your career, like a still of your the beginning.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
of, like
absolutely.
because from Breathe, you went with an EP, Coherent.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
of course you could have like released an album. I mean, you wanted to
Uh-huh.
release an EP because there was the lockdown in between. It was like there's too much time. We don't have a bedroom ready for us. Like
I think there was a combination of that, and I think after we had put out Breathe, we were very aware of of because again, like they were songs that were recorded first rather than making them a
okay,
band. And when we got to actually playing those songs live, they transformed into very different songs
okay,
live, which was really cool and more organic and a lot more honest. And we were like, these sound so much better.
okay,
Um, so we kind of were like, okay, well, we've seen the error of our ways, and so we really wanted the emphasis going like going further in for future releases to very
okay,
much be a lot more resolved as a band
okay,
sound. And so that's why we kind of led to the EP. We kind of we trialed stuff and done it all properly in a studio.
okay.
And then yeah, we kind of when we were in that recording sessions we hit lockdown. So then we were like, okay, hold up. And
We're
we
back.
kind of had
Yeah.
another thing on the back burner. But yeah, and so that's kind of what led to the EP.
Okay. But of course, like you came back to the first album, the
Yep.
moment that you went live to perform the song, even
Yeah.
even in a rehearsal room, let's say, and you
Mhm.
were just like used to hear those songs because you were just recorded from a, let's say, laptop, like they were just on a recording thing,
They
but you didn't
existed in the
play.
ether.
Yeah, you didn't. Well, you already didn't play live. So how does it feel to
Yeah.
literally not even play, even just performing in a rehearsal room? Like it was like you expected to be.
I think there's always like I always find there's like there's a push and pull with that because the the, the part of you that creates something is so excited and you get consumed by that excitement of just enjoying the moment. And I think maybe thankfully to the years of like all my teenage years and early 20s of playing in bands, that uh primal initial feeling of just getting caught up in the excitement has now kind of shifted a little bit more into like I'm very cynical the
Okay.
second we get into a room, or just like keep my emotions detached and
Yeah, yeah,
be
yeah.
present in the room rather than be caught up in the emotions. So I think there's those two things, um,
More
and so
rational, kind of.
it's there's a lot more like chin stroking and
I think
pondering,
yeah, like
trying to
more.
make
Yeah.
things sound better.
And of course, like of course, there's a new, let's say, album on the way. We don't know
Yeah.
yet when. It's
We
it's a
don't have an album.
song.
What are you talking about? Um,
You don't have it? So what is that
no, we
love?
do. We do.
What is that love? It's just
Where is it? I can't see it. It's somewhere, I swear.
it's
But
someone.
yeah, we.
Yeah. So there's a second album
Mhm.
be will be released. And of course, we don't want to go too much in detail because we don't know how much we can go in detail. But if you want to give literally like an overview about the core of love, what is essentially the main difference from the last EP at least?
So yeah, I think there's actually yeah, so we're releasing an album. It's going to be called Love, and it'll be out very soon. We've kind of dropped one song which is kind of was also on the Coherent EP,
Mhm.
Coherent, but we got Rachel from
I
Cage
heard that.
Fight
Yeah.
singing on it,
It's,
and she absolutely slays.
it's
She's the
amazing.
best.
Yes.
Like I just went to see her last night opening for Soulfly in London, and oh man, like seeing them on like a big stage is like no one can match a front person as much as like Rachel does. She's the best.
She's an incredible
Yeah.
energy. Yeah.
She yeah, so and she's got such a crazy range. But so we were like I worked with Rach, we were friends for quite a while. We're both tattooers. We worked in a tattoo
Okay.
studio together.
You stole my
And
job.
you're a tattooer as well?
I know I wanted to be a tattoo artist because I would
Oh,
become too much, but I ended up to just be covered of it.
you're collecting all the sick tats. It's
Too
like
much.
Pokemon. You gotta catch them all, right?
Yeah, more than 100. Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Only a couple of thousand to go.
What?
Only a few thousand to go. I don't even
Yeah.
know how many
I don't
Pokemon
have
there is
any more
anymore.
spaces. I don't know where to
Oh
put
yeah,
it on here. There's a whole.
yeah. The awkward spots. Yeah, I got like arms are prime real estate, right? It's like
Yeah.
once you run out of that, you're like shit.
Shit, I don't have any more space. Let's start with the cover up.
Yeah. Just start going over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so the record, we yeah, so that song is going to be on the record, and
Okay.
then there is yeah, the whole album is called Love, and I guess the theme of it really it should have been called Conflict because the album is about conflict, and so it's
Okay.
like it's kind of the theme of it is viewing love as conflict, and I guess to kind of marry the EP and the album together, I think the the initial songs that are on that EP were probably wrote in the same time period as the album, but we were a lot more sure of those songs. So
Okay.
thematically, um, they're almost, they're the exact same in a way. They were like the tester songs of the album, and that we just had kind of ready first. So the EP is a really good kind of intro into what to
Okay.
expect
Okay.
from the album.
So like in as well like in a thematic way. And
Mm-hmm.
as well the sound. We can of course how in your point of view, because of course I can say one thing, it's always personal how we can perceive the music, but you being behind the composing as well, better than me.
Sure.
How much is changed literally the sound from breathe, like even to love? What's new?
Um, what's new? I would say uh what's new? We've definitely spent a lot more time on like just kind of trying to maintain a quality of
Okay.
sound. And yeah, like that thing of like not letting the excitement take hold and just be a little bit more um methodical and like, is this good?
Okay.
And I think yeah, the sounds, I think when we were doing the Breathe album, we were very much kind of leaning more into the pop sphere, I would say, than we are
Mhm.
now.
Okay.
Um uh but I feel where it is now is definitely at a lot more honest place in terms of the references and the style. It's definitely, in my opinion,
Oh, yeah,
at
of course.
least, it's a little bit more resolved.
Okay.
uh, the sound, the sonic vibes of it. It's I think we learned, where that thing of like serving the song and actually, just because there's no guitar in this part doesn't need guitar, or likewise with the bass and all of this stuff. Because we have like we build so much on kind of on the synthesizers and
Yeah.
sampling and resampling and pitching and stuff. So we kind of we have a lot of that in the soundscapes already.
Okay.
So it's kind of trying to just be a little bit more functional with what things are doing, but also it is a little bit more metal, and it's a little bit more kind of tapping into that background too, I think.
Okay.
So
So
that's what you probably expect on
acting
the.
a little bit less from the pop side, let's say. More
Yeah.
like maybe in a darker way, let's say. Maybe it's more dark maybe than
Yeah, I think so. I think like there is some parts of the album that have like there's a song called Scars, for example, that for me has like the biggest pop chorus of the record. And it's like super fast, double time, like kind of disco 16 beat. It's really cool pop song kind of a thing. And I think when that was wrote, we were like, this is such a pop sounding thing. We need to counterbalance that. So the rest of the song is like such
yeah, to
the
have a balance.
polar
Sure.
opposite to that, you know. So
Yeah.
I think things like that, like allowing the moments to exist and
Yeah, to give
choosing them
yeah,
wisely.
to give you more space as well to just explore other side of the I don't want to say to the let's say the not like electronic but
Yeah,
synth the synth world, let's call it like that.
yeah,
And of course, like especially in this moment in time, there has been some band that I saw that we have you in common, this musician
oh yeah,
Travis Bacon, Contra
oh
Cop.
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
okay, yeah, yeah, sick.
it's an amazing musician. He's doing an amazing job, and I, of course, I know from knowing him that the visual are a lot important for this type of music. So I want to ask you the same to you, like how much is important the visuals in your live performance, in your video clips, your whatever.
Yeah. Um, I remember so up until recently we've always kind of like when we play live, at least we've always brought like an obscene amount of like strobe lights and
Okay.
smoke machines. And it's been like a thing for forever. And actually in like the last 2 years, like everyone is like it's kind of died. And we're always like, well, the Tayne shows is like strobes and fucking smoke, you know. And that was the vibe, but it's kind of, yeah, it's weirdly it died off. But I always felt like that was such a big element of it. I think we done a show with Greg from the Dillinger Escape Plan recently, and I seen the videos from that, like that people took in the audience, and I was like, oh, that's the fucking Tane show, you know, because it was just strobes and fucking smoke, and we were silhouettes. I kind of love that thing. I don't know if you like Cult of Luna, but like they're one of
Yeah,
my favorite bands to see live just because like for the majority of the set they're like silhouettes, you know,
yeah,
in this like
totally.
big
Yeah,
bright thing. It's insane. I love it. I think it's
yeah.
such a ballsy
So
move, and
we can say that in the future, people can expect from your lives, chain lives, like kind of a silhouette and shadows. As
yeah, big time. I think it's cool. It's cool.
yeah,
Like it
it's
kind of
kind of
it's a mood. I like also like when we play, like there's not really much talking because it's just I feel like there's nothing. The music is so moody and like
weird.
emotionally, it's very like cathartic or whatever. If you want to play that card, but it takes some. You have to get into a mind frame, I feel, to play it, and so to break that and just be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Oh
I don't
wow,
it's not a Tane show. It's not us. So we just can't.
more,
We play and shut the fuck up and get off.
it's more like a, okay, we're here and we're making impact. This is it.
Yeah,
Gonna when are you gonna be perform love? Okay, this is love. No matter. It's just think what you want. That's love. Whatever.
yeah,
Bye.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Bye.
Yeah, but then on like the visual front in terms of the brand or whatever, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's always like I mean we've always kind of leaned into that kind of glitchy kind of side
Okay.
of stuff. Just I don't know. I think we thought it was kind of our identity, and even the logo is a little bit glitched and broken. But um, yeah, I think I definitely think
That,
branding is an important part of it. We've got like the latest video with Rachel. There's a lot of
yeah,
hidden
yeah.
stuff in those glitch and stuff that will kind of come out later down the line and
Okay.
reveal kind of a lot. But I mean, it's not like rocket science stuff, but there's a lot in that is very telling of what's to come.
Yeah, and of course, like from there's some upcoming release of new single, like in the
Mhm.
if you can say, of course, in the next month before the
Yeah,
whole.
yeah. We just posted today about
Okay,
September 11th. We've got
okay,
a single coming out called Down, and
down.
that
That
will be
it's
like
about, of course, so we can talk about that because it's gonna
yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah. Let's go. Let's fucking talk about it. Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem at all. I'm here to honk in your ear, so let's get honking.
Okay, so what is about this? So Dawn, I mean, what is about? I mean, the core, the soul of the song is almost poetic. So
So for me, I think like Down is probably the best kind of intro
okay,
into the record. Like I was asked this recently about the track, and I kind of said this song is really like it for me embodies the core theme of the album of like love is
okay,
conflict. Um, and there's a lot in there. It's kind of like there's a lot of asking questions of middle of the road stuff, without like I don't know, trying to detach.
to
Uh,
rationalize.
yeah, like make it's a bit ambiguous, but it's very like there's a lot about lying to each other to be comfortable.
Oh my God,
And
yeah, that's the worst that can
it's
happen.
it's profound and complex, for
Yeah.
sure. But very true to where
Oh God.
yeah, I I think a lot of the album is probably uh quite pessimistic in terms of a standpoint.
Okay.
Um but I think it's always at least I'm in my head trying to be in not a very like one-sided
Okay, so not like
artist.
that's bad, like
Like
love is just
just
conflict and that's it.
but yeah, more like yeah, we're both useless and we're both do nothing about it. What yeah, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I think Down is probably the pinnacle of the core theme of the album.
Yeah, and of course, it's interesting seeing in an album and a topic so, I mean, talked like love like as a conflict, like in this side, like you said, both sides as well, instead of being like, oh, well, love is a conflict and there is always hope for a broken heart, whatever, like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
smile face and at the end. So it's
YOLO.
interesting seeing, yeah, it's interesting seeing as well something a little bit more, no, I would say realistic, but yeah, realistic. Let's say that.
Yeah, I think so. I think like like to try and not bore you to death. I think that album kind of started to, I mean, thematically come from. There was a point in my life where I had just came out of like a long-term relationship with someone, and we both were like we're still really good buds. And but we were both just like complacent.
Yeah.
And I think when this album started getting wrote, it was like, well, if that was good and it still failed, well, everything else is surely doomed, right?
I mean, it could be a way. I mean, it could be a way, but it always, of
Yeah.
course, depends of because, of course, it's I think it's something that you can apply to every type of relationship. That could be the love for a partner, the love for a friend, family, anything. It could be that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that's the thing with relationships is like there's always like compromise and
Exactly.
communicate. And
Community.
if one of those things aren't working, something's not working.
Respect.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I think that's kind of that's the album.
Yeah. That's the album. Okay, by October promotion.
That's the album. Sort your shit out.
And of course, we didn't reveal everything. We didn't reveal all the tracks,
No.
so we keep it vague. Let's say like
Yeah, yeah.
we just thought. We just put curiosity to the people. I hope so.
Yeah, yeah. Just delete like whatever the last 20 minutes or so. It's fine.
Just to people talking like about. No, I
What did
just
you talk about? Absolutely nothing. Had
nothing.
nothing to
No,
talk
we
about.
talk. No, I never saw you. I never saw you.
Talk
Who are
about
you?
like wine or something like that.
Who are you? Okay, wait. Next time I need a wine or something to drink too. I mean,
Yeah,
you're drinking. I'm not. That's not fair.
yeah. So
But
it's
of
a
course,
one person party for sure.
next time I'm gonna have an amaro and limoncello in Sicily. So
Oh yeah, great man. I love
yeah,
it.
you love limoncello.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the
So next
best.
time I'm gonna have limoncello and
Yeah, let's do
chocolate.
it.
Yeah.
I'm Irish, mate. Love drinking.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea. I'm living up to my stereotype here.
I'm in Sicily, so we should say that I love coffee all the time and I eat
Oh
pasta
yeah,
and pizza all the time.
nice.
I
You
mean,
get good wine too in Sicily, though.
yeah, we have from Corleone, we have a good wine.
Loads of good wine. Yeah, I always have good wine from Sicily. This is Nero Diavolo or something like that. It's like a red
Yeah,
wine.
Nero Diavola. Yeah, that's cool. You know that. That's
Yeah.
good.
Sicilian, always. It's the best.
I mean, people send it to you. You have a partnership with
Hey,
Nero.
send it. I'll shout out my address. Can I get some wine?
And then we will be AAA, Anonymous Alcoholics.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be straight
But
there.
before ending, Matt, there is going to be, of course, I mean, you have some live show planned before the end of 2024.
Yeah, yeah, we've got a few we're doing we've got a show
Mhm.
in London
Okay.
next week. It's like a secret show. The day of
Okay.
Down is coming out. And
Okay.
then we've got we're playing Reeperbahn Festival in Hamburg
Okay.
at the end of September. I think it's the 20th we play in Reeperbahn. And then, oh, what else? I think we're playing a show in Bristol in
Okay.
October, and then maybe like one other London-based show
Okay.
in
So
November. Yeah.
you have a good memory, kind of, really, because I would have for like, I would say, yeah, some would show just spread it all over 2 months. Of course, people
Thankfully, it's not that many, so I can remember them.
from, and then of course I think after whatever, I mean, when the album's gonna be announced, the release and everything, there's gonna be a proper tour of a thing for that.
Yeah, yeah, I'd imagine. Yeah, yeah, we're still working on that, but yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, okay, so of course we are gonna talk better when the album is gonna be almost close to the release of the album, so we can dive
Awesome.
deeper. I mean, we already talked about the album, but we're gonna dive deeper
Yeah,
with
yeah.
cello and another double
I'll make sure I have a bottle of wine next time,
Me
not the
too, me
glass.
too.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a shit interview, but it doesn't matter.
Sick. It's like it's everyone bring your fucking therapy notebooks.
Of course, and then we're gonna start to say stupid things. That's the beauty of being maybe drunk on an interview. We are not drunk, we are sober. Drink responsibly.
Absolutely.
Let's say to the people, or maybe not. Who
Yeah.
knows? Just have fun. Anyway, Matt, it was a really pleasure meeting you and having this interview. And well, have a good rest of the evening. Yeah, it's evening. You're not in the United
Thank you.
States. Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah.
I hope it's nice in Sicily. I hope you're having a nice evening.
Yeah, falling asleep right behind me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Straight. Close the laptop, off to bed.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a pleasure. Have a good night. And I
Okay.
keep you posted for the interview.